Welcome to Keep Trucking Personal, where we invite you to explore the heart and soul of our company, Kivi Bros Trucking. Through engaging storytelling, insightful market updates, and vibrant energy, our podcast reflects our culture, values, and achievements. Whether you're a team member or industry enthusiast, join us to build connections, foster growth, and inspire excellence. Discover why we're more than just a company. We're a community, a catalyst for positive change, and a home for those aspiring to be part of something extraordinary. The pre-trip is complete and engines ready. We're set to hit the road on the Keep Trucking Personal podcast. Let's go.
Welcome back to Keep Trucking Personal. My name is Tyler Kivi, and I'm your host. This is a special week for me and for Kivi Bros Trucking and Keep Trucking Personal podcast. And I'll tell you why. I've been invited to go to the North Carolina Trucking Association conventional meeting. So they have this annual meeting once a year, and they're going to bring all kinds of people in, and they're going to talk about industry standards, industry opportunities, what's challenging little sectors in the industry, and also find the nuggets inside of it. And we're going to showcase this podcast, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited if you've listened to it. I'm super excited if you've given me feedback. That is what motivates me to keep going. And believe it or not, this podcast touches a lot of people. So I'm super excited, and I'm going to represent everyone well, I promise you. And it kind of leads into this episode talking about where we started and where we are, and the curveballs that life throws at us, and how those moments that we least expect shape us into who we're meant to be or who we're meant to become. And maybe you're not where you thought you'd be, and maybe this year didn't start the way you planned. And I can attest to that because I've been a very big proponent for the market shifting. 2025 was supposed to be the year. I pinned a lot on this year changing substantially. The last 3 years in trucking, I don't care what trucking company you're with, have been challenging, and it still hasn't recovered fully. And so what that's taught me, and what that's leading me to understand, is you have to find the good in the challenging. You have to find what's good. You have to find those nuggets. And trust me, we as a company are going through many exercises, always trying to find what can we do and do very well and be successful at, even in a challenged market. And so everyone can relate to this. And like I said, maybe you're not where you thought you'd be. And maybe this year didn't start the way you planned, but sometimes the detour is the road. It's the road that you're supposed to take. This circles right back to a story that I think everyone knows, Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy with the San Francisco 49ers. And when he was drafted in the NFL draft, he was drafted last. He was pick 262. And that's so low that they call that draft pick Mr. Irrelevant. So nobody expected him to start. Nobody expected him to get prime time, playing time. And just when you least expect it, someone gets hurt in the first string and the second string, and then he gets pulled up into a starting position. But something crazy happened, and something happened that just blew everyone's mind. He didn't just hold his own. He dominated. He led his team to win after win. And he did it through poise and performance and leadership. And everyone knows he was even paid the lowest. At those primetime games, when they made it to the Super Bowl, he was the lowest paid employee. I shouldn't even say employee, the lowest paid player leading the team. Pretty crazy when you think about it. And a guy from nobody, that's what you thought, Mr. Irrelevant, nobody, showed everybody. And that ties to trucking. Because how many of you felt like that in your own life, right? Maybe you didn't grow up in trucking, and maybe you got into it because something else didn't work out. Maybe you were passed over for a better route, or maybe you couldn't be counted on because of your age. I've been there. I've been looked down on because being the youngest one in the room, they laugh at you. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have the experience. Maybe some of that's true, maybe not. But I came back every time hungry, because you can't defeat me by age. You can't defeat me by experience. I have that will to succeed. And the trucking industry has a unique way to humble everyone. And they can also reveal your greatness. And if you think about it, the driver who never saw themselves hauling oversized, I've been there, talked about it last week. I put a lot of time and effort in and got that opportunity. Or the dispatcher who's usually on the night shift because nobody else will do it, steps up to take over, but he runs everything like a pro. Or the mechanic who started out in the wash bay and now leads a team of techs. The unexpected does happen in this industry, and it becomes your pivotal moment. And it becomes from being ready. Brock Purdy didn't become great when he stepped on the field. He didn't just show up and walk on there and was amazing. No, he did it because he was ready, and he was ready when no one was watching. And you might be riding in the middle of nowhere right now, but greatness is built in quiet miles. And that means the little things like keeping your truck clean when nobody sees it. You're doing something special. Logging your hours right, even when it's tempting to cut corners, or helping a new driver, even when you got your own stress. All of that builds greatness. All of that can be done when no one's watching, and it's leading you to something bigger. Because the day will come when you're called up. Somebody gets sick, a hot load needs to be moved. You're the only one nearby. And so you better guess what? That's your Brock Purdy moment. Your time will come. And I think it's funny when I think of my story, specifically towards the end of high school. I didn't have a perfect upbringing in high school. I created and caused many mistakes. I even go a little bit earlier, right? I had class clown written on my report card. I got a lot of feedback that said he should stop talking and focus. I went into high school, and in my junior year, I transitioned to online school, so the non-traditional way. And that wasn't very common back then. It was actually more of a feature you did if you were in trouble. I wasn't in trouble, but I took an uncommon path to try find something that I thought was going to be my next chapter. And that was for me. I started in our shop immediately when I transitioned to going to online school. I went straight into the shop and worked full time. So I was at that time 16. I was always turning at the end of the grade, the age up. So end of my junior year, I was 17. I almost had to wait till I graduated practically before I turned 18. But I went to work 16 full time. All my friends didn't do that. They were still in school. They still did the normal thing, hung out with all their friends after school. But my dad and brothers and uncles and mom all instilled this drive in me that I just wanted to be around them. The trucking industry had that effect on me. It pulled me in, and I just couldn't get out of it. And I got looked down on. I had many people tell me, "What are you doing? You're going to ruin your life. You should go to college. You should be fighting for this." And I agree. There was many of things that I should have thought through before I made that change, but I wouldn't regret it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's what made me today. And it went by in a flash when I think about it. And I still got to traditionally graduate. It was a little unconventional. I went down to Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and there was like a park, you could say. And we had our graduation ceremony there. Didn't know anyone. I've met my teachers virtually, but it was very brief. So that was unique, right? That's just one of the parts of my personal story that is different. It's unique. I know everyone listening has something unique about them just like that. Something that you did differently, something that helps you stand out, and something that is setting you up to prepare for the unexpected. And there's many ways that you can do things to be ready for that pivotal moment. And that's could be just mastering the basics, right? Blocking and tackling, doing the little things well over and over again. And we talk about that all the time with pre-trips. I think that's one of the most fundamental things to be successful in trucking is doing your pre-trip and doing it well. And when you create that muscle memory and you become fluent in it, and it's almost part of just your daily routine, every time you get out of the truck, you're checking it over and you're going through it. That is how you stay prepared. Let's talk about physically fit. Move your body. This is an industry that you have to be sitting for many hours. So you have to be disciplined and push yourself to move your body. Bodies are meant to be moved. They feel better after they're moved, getting that heart rate up, getting the blood flowing. eating healthy, being diligent on what you put in your mouth. Literally, it's as simple as that. Pay attention to what you're putting in your mouth. I know that's one of those things that's easier said than done because there's so many good things out there that, or at least look good. Maybe not good for you, right? But they look good. And that's hard. So you got to build habit. You got to build, what are you going to grab? Are you going to grab the water or are you going to grab the soda? Grab the water. Little things like that. Stay mentally fit. That's how you stay prepared. Listen to podcasts such as this. Listen to audiobooks. Listen to good music that uplifts you and helps you build a subconscious that is thinking about things that can help other people or help yourself. It's whatever keeps your mind healthy. That's what you need to listen to. I've said it many times and I believe it. It's who you surround yourself with, is who you become. That's the same as your environment. It doesn't have to just be people. It's your environment. So think about that right now as if you're driving down the road or if you're even in your office. Just take a second and look around. What is it that needs to be adjusted? What is it that you like a lot? What can you invest more time into? So you're essentially treating every day like a rep. And you're treating every day like Brock Purdy took practice seriously. Take every mile seriously. Know that every mile counts and you can't get back what you didn't do yesterday. I think that's the most important thing in trucking to understand. This is a production game. You can't get back what you didn't do yesterday. Yes, you might have a day of slack where you can make up some ground, but you can't get back what you didn't do. So if you drug your feet or you didn't come to put your A game on, that's tough. That's tough. You have to perform every day in this industry. And I think, we forget that. I forget that sometimes, where you come in and you're not firing on all cylinders, let's put it that way. And you need to level up. That's what I want to even challenge myself, is to do the things other people won't do. And I think in trucking, giving courtesy to other people is one of the most important things you can do. Mastering the basics, staying physically fit, staying mentally fit, and believing in what you bring. And remember, your story matters. So sometimes you have to have patience. Sometimes you have a story to tell and make sure to share it. You don't need to be famous to have a story, and you just need to be faithful that it will come. And I think that's what the purpose of this one is today. I'm excited that I get to go to North Carolina Trucking Association, share the stories that all of you've brought to me, that I've been able to showcase, the people that I've been able to have as a guest, and that they've been able to tell how they did it and what they did. And we can use that. We can use that to build on. We can use it as a manual. And that's where you sharpen. That's where you sharpen yourself. So if today feels small or unimportant or even just routine, don't discount it. The unexpected just might be your road to greatness. This is Keep Trucking Personal. Thanks for being part of the ride.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Keep Trucking Personal. We appreciate you taking the time to explore the heart and soul of Kivi Brothers Trucking with us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review to let us know your thoughts. Tune in next time as we continue our journey together, diving deeper into what makes us a community, a catalyst for positive change, and a home for those who aspire to be part of something truly extraordinary. Until then, keep trucking, and we'll catch you on the next episode.